What's up, guys? It's Alex here, and welcome to the draft recap video of the subscriber fantasy football league. We just ended up finishing our fantasy football draft. It was scheduled for 7. Right now I'm recording this at like 8:15, and man, I am pumped for this season. I hope you guys are too, and if you are in the subscriber league, if you were able to get in, good luck to you. And without any further ado, let's take a look at the Super Celtic 24, the commissioner, the YouTube sensation, if you want to call him that, even though that's kind of J-Red 52's nickname. But we had the first overall pick, which meant we were able to get Christian McCaffrey. Taking a look at our starters here, we have Lamar Jackson as our QB, Christian McCaffrey at our RB1, basically 2 RBs in 1 right there. Then we got Todd Gurley, which I am super high on this year. I know a lot of like fantasy football industry people are not super high on Gurley. Kind of the same thing with Odell Beckham Jr., but Odell is going to be super fun to watch, and especially with this league not being for money, just for kind of bragging rights and stuff, it will be super fun to root for him, and he can only improve from what last season was. Then we got Keenan Allen as our wide receiver 2. Should be a really good addition to the team right there. Jared Cook, touchdown machine at the tight end position. AJ Green, if he can stay healthy this season, which is a big if, I think he can be a fantastic, potentially top 15 wide receiver. He is a superstar in the league when he is healthy. Then we have the Eagles defense. We waited until the last 2 rounds to pick our defense and kicker. We're just going to be streaming those week to week. And the Eagles play the Redskins, or I can't say the Redskins, the football team, the first week of the season. So I think that is a great matchup. We'll just be playing matchups the entire season with our defense. Then we got the Colts kicker, Chase McLaughlin. Then taking a look at our bench, we have J.K. Dobbins. Should be a fantasy football league winner around like week 10 into the playoffs once he's able to take over that role from Mark Ingram, which I give him about a 70% chance to at that point in the season. He is just super explosive. Justin Jefferson, who I absolutely love, going to be the wide receiver 2, potentially should be the wide receiver 2. I know he's been having some training camp battles with BC Johnson, but should be the wide receiver 2 for the Vikings, who have a ton of vacated targets now that Stephon Diggs has left for Buffalo. Antonio Gibson, who I absolutely love in the Washington football team backfield, should be a PPR monster if he can break out of the rest of that pack with Bryce Love and Adrian Peterson. Deshaun Jackson, who is basically the only healthy Eagles wide receiver left, he should have a ton of boom weeks. Hopefully I'm able to start him for those. Chase Edmonds, who should be great if Kenyon Drake were to go down. Justin Jackson, who should be great if Austin Eckler were to go down. And then Jack Doyle, who should be a good fit in since Phillip Rivers loves his tight ends if Jared Cook were to go down for some reason or something like that. So there we have my team right there. Up next, we'll just take a look here at Glizzy Gobblers, which I think is a pretty funny fantasy football name. Can't remember what pick they had. I'm assuming he had the second pick since he's able to get Saquon. But he has Matt Ryan, Saquon Barkley, Melvin Gordon, good running backs right there. Mike Evans and Kenny Golladay, good wide receivers too, especially to have Kenny Golladay as your wide receiver too. Then we have Mark Andrews at tight end, great tight end position too. Tyler Boyd, great flex position. This team is looking good, very similar to mine. Then we got the Broncos defense, a good defense as well. And then Austin Siebert as the kicker. And then taking a look at our defense, or not the defense, the bench, they have Will Fuller, should be a huge boomer bust guy, should be a great option if he is the wide receiver 1 for Houston and can stay healthy. Jordan Howard, Matt Breida got the 2 Dolphins running backs. I guess he's just betting on one of those to break out. Curtis Samuel, Paris Campbell, Damian Harris, and Brandon Ayuk. So a lot of flyers that he took there on his bench, but if any of those were to break out, that would be some great value. Then up next, we have Eddie DeNiro, or DeNiro, I can't remember how you pronounce his name. But he has Drew Brees, Ezekiel Elliott with the 3rd overall pick, Le'Veon Bell, DJ Moore, DJ Chark, got the 2 DJs there at the 2 wide receiver positions. George Kittle, who is fantastic at the tight end, should be right up there with Kelsey for the best tight end in football, or in fantasy football. Then we got Hollywood Brown, who should be able to break out again this year and return some good value there at the flex position. Bears defense, then we got the young Hoku at the kicker. Then we got Mark Ingram, who hopefully, he'll probably have the starting job for the Ravens rushing attack for the first 10 weeks of the season or so. That's why I took J.K. Dobbins, because I think Dobbins will end up taking over. Then we got Emmanuel Sanders, Chris Thompson, who should be fantastic, or not fantastic, I should say serviceable as the pass-catching running back for the Jaguars now that Fournette got cut by them. Then Boston Scott, who should be good if Miles Sanders were to go down. Anthony Miller and Kill Harry. And then Keyshawn Vaughn, who's projected 2.1 points there for week 1 on the bench. And we'll take a look at Team Cronin. I think Team Cronin was an auto draft. I don't think he made it to the draft himself, so I'm not going to spend too much time there because you got to show up to the draft if you want me to review your team a ton. He has Carson Wentz, Dalvin Cook, David Johnson, Allen Robinson, Devontae Parker, the competitor with Kittle for the best tight end in fantasy football, and Travis Kelce. Devin Singletary, the Saints defense, Zane Gonzalez, then we have Deebo Samuel, Daryl Henderson, I can't pronounce it. Then we got Zack Moss, Preston Williams, Mecole Hardman, Mike Gesicki, and Jerick McKinnon. Then we take a look here at Team Matthews. I think he had like the 5th or 6th pick, I can't remember. He had Cam Newton as the QB1, which you can get late in drafts, which I really like. Alvin Kamara, who should be able to play week 1, had that bit of a contract issue today. I know it was huge news for today, but ended up he should be able to play week 1 and will be a great pick. Jonathan Taylor, Chris Godwin, Juju Smith-Schuster, the breakout Blake Jarwin should be a huge value there as the Dallas tight end taking over for Jason Witten. Then we got Julian Edelman at the flex. Then we got the Lions kicker and defense with Matt Prater. Then we got another Lion in DeAndre Swift. Then David Montgomery, James White, Christian Kirk, John Brown, the aforementioned Leonard Fournette, who did not get signed by a team in the waivers. He's going to free agency. It'll be interesting to see who he ends up signing with. As you can see, he's been getting dropped by almost 3% of leagues. So it'll be interesting to see who he does end up signing with, and we'll kind of see what happens with that. And then he has Allen Lazard as well, who will be the wide receiver 2 for Green Bay. Then taking a look at the champ is here, Tanner Trout, one of my subscribers and one of my best friends. He had I think he had the 6th pick, was able to take Josh Allen, the stallion there, who I have in my main league with all my friends. Then Clyde Edwards-Helaire as his RB1, Ronald Jones as his RB2, Julio and Adam Thielen and Robert Woods there, great wide receiver core. And then we have a great value pick in Hayden Hurst, who should be a fantastic tight end. Maybe could even break into the top 5 in fantasy tight ends. Then we have the Cowboys defense, Will Lutz as the kicker, my guy Kareem Hunt there as his bench spot. Man, to have Kareem Hunt even as your bench spot is a fantastic value, great drafting by him. Then we have Brandon Cooks, who I also have in my main league team. He's just basically copying all my guys there in the flex from our main league. Alexander Madison, who should be really good if Dalvin Cook were to go down. TJ Hawkinson, who should have a bounce back year if he can stay healthy. Tony Pollard, kind of like Alexander Madison. If Ezekiel Elliott were to fall down, then Tony Pollard would be a great pick. And in this draft, Tony Pollard actually fell to like the 12th or 13th round, so it has great value for the Tony Pollard owner in Tanner Trout. We got Ben Roethlisberger and Sammy Watkins, who should be a huge boomer best guy. Why not take a flyer on him, see if he develops into anything? Then taking a look at Team GOATs right here. He has Patrick Mahomes as his QB1, the MVP and the Super Bowl MVP. Derrick Henry, who was fantastic last year. Philip Lindsay, who I do not like at all as his running back. And I can't get behind his run. He literally has 3 running backs on his team. Marlon Mack, Philip Lindsay. Behind Derrick Henry, he has no running back depth whatsoever. So, I mean, that's my gripe with this team. But other than that, the wide receivers are pretty decent. And Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, and DK Metcalf. Evan Ingram there as his tight end, then the Ravens defense and Matt Gay as the kicker. Then the bench spot is taken up by Deontay Johnson, Henry Ruggs, Marlon Mack, as I mentioned, Jerry Jeudy, Austin Hooper, Baker Mayfield, like in those Browns offensive players, and the Chiefs defense. So I think this is, I hate to say it, I don't mean to be mean, but this is probably the worst team of the league so far. I do have to admit, sorry, Team Goats, but you never know. He could surprise me. He plays me in week 2, so he could make me eat my words. We'll kind of see what happens with it. Then taking a look here at the Zachary Springer team, shout out to him. He messaged me on Instagram and said good luck, so shout out to you. I'll give you a shout out here on this video. Deshaun Watson as his QB1, Nick Chubb, Chris Carson, Michael Thomas, Michael Gallup, Marvin Jones, Darren Waller. I mean, that is a stacked starting lineup. I have to give him credit. That is great drafting for him. Steelers defense, Harrison Butker, and then the bench is Sterling Shepard, Duke Johnson, Nyheim Hines, Chris Herndon, Jared Goff, Chris Boswell, and the Buccaneers defense. Then taking a look here at Kareem Hunt, didn't do it. We will take a look here at his starting lineup once it loads. There we go. Dak Prescott is his QB1, Josh Jacobs and Joe Mixon. I love that start to a draft with Josh Jacobs and Joe Mixon. That is just like a perfect spot. I think he had the 9th overall pick. That is just such a good spot. And we have Amari Cooper, Terry McLaurin, Hunter Henry, James Conner, 49ers defense, and the 49ers kicker, and Robbie Gould. Then we have Latavius Murray, Jamison Crowder, Golden Tate, Brashad Perriman, Adrian Peterson, Chase Claypool, and A.J. Dillon. Then if we take a look here at Virginia, the winning sub, also a shout out to Jared Dallas. He had messaged me on Instagram, so shout out to you here on this video. We have Russell Wilson as his QB1, Austin Eckler, Cam Akers, Devontae Adams, Tyler Lockett, Noah Fant, Stephon Diggs, the Vikings defense, and Jake Elliott. Then taking a look here at his bench, he has Darius Slayton, Raquel Armstead, who could have a pretty good season if the Jaguars kind of use him in the Leonard Fournette role. We'll kind of see what happens with that. Obviously, he's not as talented as Fournette, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. And then Tevin Coleman, CeeDee Lamb, Daniel Jones, Jonnu Smith, and Michael Pittman Jr. Then we have Team Martissica or something like that. I can't pronounce it. They were on auto draft too, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time here. They have Kyler Murray, Miles Sanders, Kenyon Drake, Cortland Sutton, A.J. Brown, Tyler Higbee, T.Y. Hilton, the Bills defense, and Kiami Fairbairn as the Texans kicker. Then Kerryon Johnson, Robbie Anderson, Matthew Stafford, Mike Williams, Eric Ebron, Sony Michel, and the Chargers defense on their bench. And then the final team, the New England Patriots. The Patriots have moved away from the NFL and have joined my subscriber league. They have Tom Brady, Aaron Jones, Raheem Mostert, DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, Zach Ertz, Jarvis Landry, the Patriots defense, Justin Tucker, Tariq Cohen, Aaron Rodgers, Rob Gronkowski, Greg Zuerlein. I don't know why they're drafting another kicker there for their bench. Then the Colts defense, Mohamed Sanu and Darrell Williams. Pretty stacked team. We'll kind of see what ends up happening with it, but we will take a quick look here at the final standings projections, which ESPN will say who they think the best team is, and they think that Zachary Sprecher, or however you pronounce his last name, will be the best team in the league. Then they say that I have the second best team in the league as the Super Celtic 24, and then you can just kind of see the rest of the teams lined up there. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's just kind of more of a draft recap video. If you're in this league, good luck to you. This should be a really fun season. I'll be providing weekly updates about how the games went, standing updates, score updates, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully I'm able to win the subscriber league, but if not, at least a subscriber of mine is going to win a league and I can give them a shout out here. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all later.